Hi, I'm Tim Scheib, husband of one, father of five, realtor, and this is Behind the Sign. Hard times. We all fall on hard times. Some people fall on harder times than others, but we all fall on hard times in our own way. And how do we deal with those? Recently, I've had a few friends that have, kind of had some difficult times themselves. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's the fallout from the pandemic and the fallout from all the lockdowns and everything, but I just feel like it's just been a thing in the last couple of weeks where I got friends having issues, whether it's divorce or getting in trouble with the law or whatever it is. It's been an interesting week. I've had the conversation probably 4 times now, where I have to tell them what I went through and what I did to get through it. So I figure I might as well just kind of share it with you right now. I got divorced, it's not a secret, got divorced in 2009, and took about 2 years where I didn't really know myself anymore. And part of the reason for that was, I got divorced. Things were kind of rocky there. Also, at the same time, the real estate market took a dip. So not only did I get divorced, I had child support, I had alimony, then the real estate market crashes. Well, if you don't know anything about child support and alimony, you can't just switch it. Like you can't just, unless the other party totally agrees to it. Well, with real estate, you don't sell houses, you don't make money, but you still have these bills over here. So it got really, really difficult. I ended up I mowed yards at a golf course. I still sold real estate. I worked in a warehouse, and I did everything I could. I wasn't sleeping much. We'll say I was probably sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. And when you do work I'll put it to you this way. I was riding on a mower down the fairway every morning, and I fell asleep on a mower. If that doesn't tell you how tired I am. I would literally be on a mower, and I would kind of like, when you're driving and you nod off. I did it every fairway I was on. I was tired. And when you are tired, your mental space is not good. When you're tired, you easily get depressed. You get down on yourself. And when you're tired all the time, it gets really hard emotionally. So therefore, I lost myself. I lost who I was. I lost where I wanted to go. I lost all confidence in myself. And, I hit some rock bottom at that time. I was at the absolute bottom that I think I could have been. I didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't do drugs. I didn't do any of that. But I was at the bottom of where I feel like I will ever be. That was as low as I'm going to get. I've got other friends that, are starting to hit that point. And if they're not, you can see they're starting to go that direction if they haven't come to that point yet. And one of the things that I did, I completely just said, you know what? I'm okay with myself. I'm going to hustle. It helped. I did get child support after about 8 months worth of fighting. I got it reduced down to a manageable number. And I said, I am going to work. And at this point, I worked in a warehouse. I helped a builder out. I hung cabinets. I delivered cabinets. And I also had my real estate license. But I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be happy. I have 3 beautiful daughters. I'm going to be happy for them. I'm going to be happy for me. I rented a small apartment. Now, this is crazy. A 600 square foot apartment. I had 2 bedrooms. I used one of them for my garage, which would, bikes and tools and all that kind of stuff. The other bedroom had bunk beds in it. And that's where my girls slept when they came over. That's where I planned to sleep when they weren't there. And then I also had a blow-up mattress in the living room. Now, keep in mind, my living room was so small I couldn't even put a couch. 600 square foot apartment doesn't leave a whole lot of room, especially when you have 2 bedrooms. One of my favorite quotes that my oldest daughter said, back when she was 10, probably 10 at the time, maybe 8, she said, "I love coming to your house, Dad." And I was like, "Oh, you do?" Kind of shocked because tiny apartment, whatever. It wasn't what I ever expected for my kids. She says, "Yeah, because I can eat anywhere I want." And I'll never forget that. She'll never forget that because the facts are you open the door to come in, and it hit the love seat, not even the couch, the love seat, because I couldn't fit a couch. There wasn't room for a table. And when you don't have room for a table, you just make do with whatever. So they love that. And they also love that I had my blow-up mattress on the floor between my love seat and my TV, and we all just laid there together. And I'm telling you, being close to your children and having a relationship where they can't go anywhere else because you have nowhere else for them to go. In today's world, if you have a big old house, they go off to their room, they go to the basement. You may not even see them for 2 or 3 hours. Not in a 600 square foot apartment with 3 girls. You'll see them all the time. So I started to get myself back. The other thing I personally did, it's not for everybody, but I found God. And that was one of the things that just kind of put me at ease. It let me breathe deep. I would go to church. I worked. I was with my kids. I was able to breathe again. I was starting to get my rest back. Things were starting to go really well. And I decided that I was going to basically let the universe bring things back to me when the time was right. And I did. I had a builder asking me to help them with their houses, sell their houses. I was like, I'm really not doing much with real estate, but that sounds interesting. But I pushed him off because I knew I wasn't quite ready just to jump back into real estate, because I knew I still needed to work for the other builder, hanging cabinets and doing things and making enough money to pay my child support and pay my rent. But then after about the third time he asked me, I said, all right, I think I'm ready. And I was. And it was about that same time that, I met my wife now. I wasn't looking. I didn't go to the bars. I didn't date a single person. I moved in that apartment. It was just me and my kids and my work, and that was it. And it really cleared my mind. And then I met my wife. She was perfect fit, like absolute perfect fit. God brought her to me. It was perfect. And things clicked there. And that's really when things turned around for me. And it wasn't so much me out searching for it. You'll see a couple get divorced and they go to the bars all the time to try and hook up with somebody, try and meet the love of their life. I got a news flash for you. You're not going to meet the love of your life at a bar on a Tuesday night. You might. You could get really, really, really lucky, but your chances of that just aren't there. So what you really got to do is you have to learn to accept yourself. You got to find within yourself, why am I here? And what do I need to do myself to help propel me to the next level, to help propel me in life, help propel me to happiness? And if you can figure that out, then you're going to go up, up, and away. A couple friends of mine getting divorced recently. It's terrible. I had to share that with them. And I'm a realist. I tell you the truth. It didn't happen right away. It took 2 years for me to hit rock bottom and to realize, like, I got to be okay with myself before I'm ever going to attract anybody that's worth anything to me or anybody that I would want to spend the rest of my life with. I'm going to have to hit rock bottom before I figure out where I want to go in life. They always say if someone's addicted to alcohol, they're not going to get better until they hit rock bottom. My wife, she's a health and wellness expert. She's got her master's degree in it. She sells real estate with me. Go figure. But she knows a lot about wellness. She knows a lot about health, and she's very intelligent about mental wellness. And you really, really have to understand that if you're not good with yourself, right? If you're not good with yourself, then someone else isn't going to be good with you either. If you're not okay with who you are and confident with who you are, the next person naturally is not going to be attracted to that. So finding out that is your key. That's your number one thing to do. Just, you got to hit rock bottom. I was talking about my wife and health and wellness. Where was I going with that? Well, here's where I was going with that. If you're overweight, you won't have an effective weight loss that will stay off unless you are completely at rock bottom. And by rock bottom, I mean, unless you're ready. Like, you're not going to lose weight unless you're ready. I sit at 200 pounds. I get to 210. I start to get frustrated. But when I hit 215, something's got to change. I'm not going to take the steps of eating less. I'm not going to take the steps of watching what I eat, counting my calories. I always work out. So you can still gain weight if you work out, just so you know that. It's all about your diet. So I'm not going to do what I need to do diet-wise to lose weight until I hit a point where I'm like frustrated. I got to do something. And once I lose weight and I get down to 200, 205, my goal is to be 195 to 200. Once I hit 200, 205, then I get comfortable. I'm not going to change. I just go back to my same old habits, right? Same in life. You just have to make sure that you're okay with yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to show that you're confident with who you are and where you are, and better things will come. Good things will happen. And that's what I've told my friends. And that's the hardest thing to do, to tell someone. It may not happen right now. You may not be ready to just do what you need to do to get better. I might be telling you this and might fall on deaf ears, because why? Because you haven't hit rock bottom yet. So you just always got to understand that there is better things in life. It's not going to be terrible forever. If you do something, let's say you get an OWI, In the moment, it feels like your life is over. I haven't had one, but I know the feeling. You feel like your life is over. You don't know what you're going to do. Everybody's going to look at you differently. It's going to be a terrible thing. I'm here to tell you that people forgive, people forget. Go about your life, fix your stuff. You will be okay. You will be okay. It might take time and it might take a little bit of a fight, but you will get there. You can't just cast things off and say, my life's over. I'm going to go back to the bar, because guess what? It won't get any better. You have to make a change, and you have to understand that life is all what you put into it. Happiness is all what you put into it. And the best suggestion I can make is figure out who you are and how you can make yourself happy and how you can be proud of who you are. Once you do that and you understand that, better things are to come.